Will this breakout from the USDCAD turn out to be false, or is the pair headed higher? Hi everyone, my name is Justin Bennett with Daily Price Action, and in today's video, we're going to take a look at the US dollar versus the Canadian dollar. I'm going to show you some key levels to keep an eye on the way up, as well as what could confirm a false break here and send the pair lower. So let's get to it right now. A quick disclaimer that today's video is for educational purposes only. All views are my opinion and are not intended as investment advice. Forex is a high reward, high risk business, and you should not trade with borrowed money or money you cannot afford to lose. See the description of this video for the full disclaimer. Before we get started, be sure to hit that subscribe button and also click the bell icon so you get notified every time I post these videos. Also check out the join button where you can become a member of this channel and receive 5 to 10 analysis videos from me every single week. I'll show you the key levels I'm watching and how I'm approaching that pair, so you'll get trade ideas from those videos, but you're also going to learn how I trade price action, and that's going to make you a better trader. So last week I discussed a potential breakout from the US dollar versus the Canadian dollar, and if I move out here to the weekly time frame, you'll see how we have two levels that come into play right around that 13300 area. So notice how we have this descending channel that extends off of this high back here. So this was the 2016 high, and we have this high up here, as well as this one, and then also this recent one right here. Now, if you'll notice, last week did confirm the breakout above that level. However, something's happening so far this week that makes me doubt this breakout to some degree, and we saw something similar on the dollar yen occur last week at 109.80. So if you didn't see those posts, we were dealing with a similar issue where the dollar yen had broken out from this wedge pattern. All right, so on the weekly time frame, you can see we have this wedge pattern in place, and the pair did confirm the break above that level right here. However, the retest was concerning in the sense that the pair retested that area as new support far too quickly. So notice how we had this breakout right here. So these candles confirmed the breakout, and then we had this rotation lower into support. However, it was incredibly aggressive, which signaled an increase in selling pressure. All right, so this was the opposite of a rounded retest. So as a swing trader, if you're looking to buy a market, you want to see a nice rounded retest into support followed by that push higher. However, in this case, you can see where the dollar yen completely collapsed, retested that level, and then it closed below 109.80. So I discussed this last week on the blog and said a close below 109.80 would signal weakness and also expose 106.80. And you can see how we're approaching that level today. So if I jump back over here to the USDCAD, you can see how we have a similar situation where we had this breakout last week, and so far this pullback has come right back to support. There's no rounded retest here, which signals an increase in selling pressure. Now, to be clear, this does not mean that the USDCAD will false break. It does not mean the pair will close back below 13300 and confirm the false break. There are no guarantees in this business, and I don't know where this market's going. Nobody does. Now, one thing to keep an eye on is that we do have a Canada rate decision coming up in about 24 hours. So just like the Fed cut rates, which affects the US dollar, we could see Canada make a move tomorrow, which could obviously affect the Canadian dollar. Now, I'm not a fundamental trader, but I do know when events are occurring so that I know when to expect an increase in volatility. So as of this video, this retest does appear like it signals weakness, and it could very well trigger a close back below that 13300 area, which would confirm the false break. However, a daily close below this area is required in order to confirm that false break. Until we get that, this area is support, and we could see bounces just like we've seen so far today. Now that 133.80 area, in my opinion, is still serving as resistance. So we saw Friday's low touch off of 133.80, and you can see how also we have this candle back here. So 133.80 is resistance as of now. The pair has to close back above that to expose higher levels, including 134.60. And again, we need to close below 13300 in order to confirm the false break and send the pair lower. Now, one last thing to keep an eye on is that we do have an ascending channel here, a short-term channel that you can use as further confluence. So notice how we have the bottom of this channel that touches off of several lows, and the top of this channel is what triggered last week's sell-off. All right, so we have these three lows down here and these two highs. So one way to play this and kind of sidestep any upcoming volatility from tomorrow's Canada rate decision would be to wait for not only a close below 13300, but also wait for the pair to close back below this ascending channel support. All right, because then we would have a close below 13300 as well as this short-term uptrend. So as of right now, I do think that the false break scenario is a bit more appealing just because I feel like we have more room to run to the downside than we do for a push higher. But again, that does not mean that it's going to happen. It does not mean that this will be a false break, but I would prefer to sell the dollar CAD for a move lower if this does turn out to be a false break than to try to buy this pair, given the fact that we have resistance right above us at 133.80 and also 134.60. So keep an eye on the upcoming Canada rate decision for an increase in volatility, and also watch for a daily close below 13300, and especially if we get a close below this channel support down here, that could very well send the pair lower back here into some of these lows. Now, one key support to keep an eye on the way down would be this area right around the 130-140 area. So notice back here, this level served as resistance, and then it started to serve as support here and support here. Now it became a little bit choppy through this area, but you can see where 130-140 was also support through here. So I do think this is one to keep an eye on if we do get that rotation lower, as well as the bottom of this descending channel, which could come into play somewhere around 12900. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, leave your comment below, and be sure to subscribe to my channel. See you next time.